Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have the Marvel Legends Luke Cage and Iron Fist 2-pack. Very excited for this 2-pack. I've heard good things about him. He looks pretty okay. I haven't heard as much about him as I've heard about him, so I don't really have much of an expectation. But I am a big Luke Cage fan and an Iron Fist fan, but mostly a Luke Cage fan. He was actually way back when I was a little child. If you remember those Marvel Universe action figures, one of my first Marvel Universe action figures was a Luke Cage in like a black tank top, and I loved that little action figure. In fact, I think I still have it somewhere. I'm not going to go find it, but I'm pretty sure I still have it. And that was like relatively shortly after I first had my first Marvel Legends. So really, if I think about it, it's one of my first action figures, period. Because if I track the roadmap, I remember I had like an Ultimate Wolverine, I had like a Hercules, I think I had a Beast. These were all in the Toy Biz days. Then, a couple Spider-Mans, a couple movie figures. Skip a few. Then we were at the Marvel Universe Luke Cage, along with a couple other universe figures. I had a Hulk I really liked. I had I believe I had a movie Wolverine in like a tan t-shirt. I had a Spider-Man, an Iron Spider-Man, and a regular Spider-Man, or no, not a regular, a black suit Spider-Man, and a Moon Knight. Marvel Universe was so good. They should bring that back, because that's, with how expensive everything's getting, that's the line I want to collect. Toys at $10 a pop, even $12. Raise the price, make them a little better, whatever you got to do. But yes, I am very excited for this 2-pack. Let me scooch in just a hair so we can look at this a little better. Very excited. It looks pretty good. It wasn't too bad of a price. I was surprised it was still in stock. I got it from Amazon, and obviously it showed up dinged up, but it still it showed up quickly. It wasn't too big of an issue. But I guess let's stop rambling about pointless stuff and actually talk about the figures. So starting with the front of the box, you have this nice 85th anniversary style packaging that I really, really enjoy. You have the Luke Cage on this side, Iron Fist on this side, all of their accessories, nice window showing you everything you get. On the side of the box, basically nothing, no artwork. On the back of the box, you do have artwork of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, not the two of them together for some reason. You'd think it would be just one larger image of the two of them fighting together, but no. But still, pretty nice artwork. I do enjoy the looks of these two. I think maybe what they were trying to do is just get images of them that the figures are based on. So it had to be yellow shirt, and it had to be the skinny version of Iron Fist. So on the side of the box, you have more artwork, and now we're back to the front so we can transition to the figure. Okay, so this is pretty much everything you get. Obviously, Iron Fist gets the most accessories, so we'll talk about him in a second. First, we'll start with Luke Cage. He comes with one screaming head sculpt that is hard to see. I should have put a light behind me, but I did not, so my bad. Nice looking screaming head sculpt. And then we have a kind of like a grabby style hand, like he's reaching out, trying to do a choke, or like maybe he's stopping someone's fist or something like that. So nice grabby style hand. And then we have another grabby style hand. This one's more meant for like a weapon or like a pipe that could have been an accessory for him. He did not get that. I always feel like he should come with like a street sign or like a steel beam or something like that, but he didn't, and that's disappointing. He should have came with something. But this is just another hand sculpt. It looks pretty good as well. The hand sculpts on the actual figure are the ones that say Luke Cage with his knuckles. So if I pull him up here, make it focus, they both say Luke Cage. Well, not both, but Luke and Cage. Then you have the not screaming head sculpt, which looks pretty decent. Nice yellow shirt that is way too tight. The blue jeans, I like the texture on the blue jeans. They're very thick. They seem different than the Wolverine jeans, which is probably the last time I saw jeans on a figure. So obviously they would be different because Luke Cage is gigantic compared to Wolverine. You have Cage on the belt. Nice boots. He seems the most recent iteration I've seen of Luke Cage was from the Netflix series, and he stylistically seemed so different in terms of like the comic version of him. He seemed so different from that version of him and the Netflix version of him. So I'm just like imagining the Cage belt buckle and all this on that character from the Netflix show, and it just doesn't add up to me. I never started his show, and I never finished Jessica Jones. So I don't know. He only appeared a few times from what I saw. So I don't. Maybe they took his character somewhere that made sense, but I don't know. But he looks very good. He also articulates pretty well. So let's talk about that. Starting with the head sculpt, which unfortunately does not go back very much, but it does go forward a decent amount. It is on a ball joint, so it'll go down to about right there. Wiggle side to side, just like so. Rotates all the way around. Arm comes up to about right there, which is actually fantastic. Rotates all the way around like so. Swivel at the bicep, rotates all the way around. Double jointed pinless elbows comes up to about right there. Wrist goes, this one goes in and out, and then all the way around like so. He is on a butterfly joint, looking like that going back, that going forward. Ab articulation looks like that going backwards and that going forwards. Nice range of motion there. Rotates all the way around like so. If you add the legs into it, he can bend to about right there, which is fine. Legs come up to about right there. He can do the splits to about right there, looking pretty good. Swivel at the thigh, rotates all the way around. Double jointed pinless knees comes up to about right there. Ankle goes down just a smidge and up, and I believe it rotates and swivels, so I might have just screwed it up. There we go. And slight swivel. That is Luke Cage. The other figure in the 2-pack, of course, is Iron Fist, who looks pretty decent, I'd say. He's a little, I don't know, we'll talk about him in a minute. He comes with this Screaming head sculpt, so they each have their own Screaming style head sculpt. I do like this one a lot. You have the nice hair details right here, kind of pushing out of the mask. The eyes look very, very nice. Everything is well sculpted, well painted. Then you have an assortment of hands to go along with him. Starting with, what do I want to start with? Let's start with these two right here. These are kind of more Kung Fu style hands, which look pretty decent. We also get flame effects. Now, the interesting thing, and the reason I wanted to bring up these hands first, is we have flame effects that I would assume go with fist hands, but the fist hands don't really fit the best. I mean, they kind of do. It just doesn't feel right, and you can see there's a lot of room there. So when I push in a fist hand, it doesn't feel correct. Actually, that one just slid in there pretty good. So maybe it goes in there, but I found that these hands specifically seem to fit a lot better. If you place it in like so, it goes in nice and deep. The thumb kind of acts as a hold for the flame effect, but it's also kind of loose. So maybe, I don't know, I can't tell which hands are meant for the flames. It's either the fist or these. Either one technically works, so I think both are adequate options. But you do have these really cool fist hands, which could be applied to multiple characters, I think. If you wanted to apply it to Luke Cage, that would make just as much sense. Not in terms of comic accuracy, but it would fit on his hands, I assume. It would fit on anyone's hands as long as they have a fist shape. So you have those two. You have a slightly different style Kung Fu hand. This one's more intentional. The other ones are kind of like maybe you're about to go into a specific pose. This one is more specifically like doing a pose. So you can see right there, about to like do a pump or whatever it's called, a push type thing. You do have two karate chop style hands, which look fine, I suppose. They are nice karate chopping style hands. Fist hand, the other one, of course, is on the figure itself. Same with the karate kung fu hand. So this is one of the fist hands. Looking pretty good. The actual figure itself, like I said, there is one pump hand, one fist hand. I placed like so, just because of posing. You guys know how things are. I don't have to explain everything to you. But the design of this figure looks very, very nice. I like the mask, the weird collar that he has, the stupid tattoo. Everything about this figure looks good. Obviously, Luke Cage, or not Luke Cage, Iron Fist has an interesting design with this very, very, very deep, can't even call it a deep V. It's a deep rectangle. It's just such a silly design. I don't know what they were really thinking when they drew him like this, but it's nice to have comic accuracy in our figures, so I do appreciate that. Nice green and yellow colors with the whatever these are called, tassels, whatever, the thing tied around his waistcloth. No, I don't know. You also have the really, really tiny boots or booties or shoes, ninja shoes, kung fu style shoes that go on the figure, along with toe hinge, which was shocking. I don't remember seeing him advertised with toe hinge, but he came with toe hinge, so that's exciting stuff. This guy articulates extremely well obviously he would, based on the look of him, and you gotta have Iron Fist articulate well. He has to do all those kung fu poses. It's just, I wasn't expecting to get such great articulation out of this guy. I was just expecting a regular old figure when I ordered it, and here he comes, and he's great. I do want to see a Spider-Man using this body, because most Spider-Man, I think, are a little too big compared to the Spider-Man I want. I want a Spider-Man that's a little bit more sleek, a little bit more slender, a little bit more... Spider-Man has essentially kind of like a swimmer's body. Most of his physical activity outside of fighting is swinging, and that would kind of give you an elongated frame. It would give you tighter, smaller muscles, because you're not necessarily doing weight training. You're just, flexing your muscles and holding yourself up type of thing. So I think this specific body mold would fit for Spider-Man a lot better than the really bulky Spider-Mans that we have. But I do love the articulation on this figure. So let's talk about it. Starting with the head sculpt, which doesn't go back very much. Forward, it goes forward decently. Wiggles side to side just a little bit. Rotates all the way around. I'm not going to do it just because the color is in the way, but it does rotate all the way around, obviously. Arm comes up to about right there. Rotates all the way around. Swivel at the bicep. Double jointed pinless elbows. Wrist goes in. Wrist goes out. Oh my god, that's tight. And all the way around, just like so. He does have the butterfly joint, of course, going back very far, almost completely facing backwards, and then forward, not as much, but still pretty decent. That is very insane. You do have the diaphragm cut, so you can wiggle side to side, back like so, and forward like so, along with the cut down here in the waist, so you can go just a little bit further in both directions, and then, tilt it, whatever you want to do. Add the legs into it. He can bend almost all the way around, just like so. Very nice looking stuff. Swivel at the diaphragm cut, of course, nothing down here at the waist because of the way it is designed, but he can do the splits. Nice high split kick. Swivel at the thigh, rotates all the way around like so. Oh my gosh. And this little joint area kind of rotates as well if you needed it to. I don't get why we would need both. Get rid of the thigh cut and just give us that, I don't know. If it can turn, well, it doesn't actually turn, does it? Interesting. All right, double jointed pinless knees comes up to right about there. Ankle goes down, ankle goes up, toe hinge, and a calf cut at the, calf. Looking very, very nice. And like I am kind of demonstrating right now, he articulates very, very well. If you want him to do any sort of pose, he can pretty much do it all, and it looks very, very good. Big fan of this figure, big fan of that figure. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. All the things YouTubers ask you to do, just do it for me as well. And I will be back with another video, hopefully very, very soon. Bye.